Yeah, he left the meeting.
Yes, forgot or
Maybe
what?
he'll join in. Yeah,
Rejoin with
maybe
PPT or something.
internet issue.
Mhm. Maybe he's thinking whom you have introduced. Why don't you give a ring to him? Sananda,
Till that, yes, sir.
give a ring to him. Telephone ring. Mobile. Try.
Yeah, he'll join in. So till that, we can discuss. Yeah, he
Ah,
joined.
yes. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
You have unmute, sir. Mr. Subramanian, you have to unmute.
Yeah,
Now go ahead.
I'm sorry, there was a network connection. I will continue now.
Please.
I think there is some technical issue once again.
Yeah, it's visible, sir. PPT. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening. Thank you, Mrs. Sunanda Ravi, Mr. P. Dinakar Rao. I'm happy to be here to present a webinar on spiritual intervention in emotional regulation, part 2. I am indebted to Manasa Subakara Mind Care and Yellow Pond Counseling Center for this wonderful opportunity. And those of you who have not attended the first part of it, you won't miss much because each of these things are standalone. It doesn't have a relation to the previous one, so you won't miss anything. Uh, Daniel Amen has come out with he's a psychiatrist, a leading psychiatrist in USA, and something like his website has got something like 10,000 SPECT scan and all those things. So he's one of the very leading psychiatrists in US. He follows 4-circle approach while treating the psychiatric mental illness, basically. One is biological, psychological, social, and then spiritual. More and more people are turning towards spiritualism so that they get the best out of their mind. Not only this, one side of the treatment is medication, the other side of the treatment is other things, combining lot of other things, which includes spirituality also. It is, I think there is some disturbance noise. Are all of you getting it, or it's only I'm getting that? If everybody unmutes, it will be better. Yeah.
Still you are hearing noise?
Yeah. Now it's clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Same this Daniel Amen has, instead of telling everybody don't use drug, don't smoke, don't use alcohol and all, he has brought out the picture of the brain scan, SPECT scan. It's not a MRI or this thing is. If you see here, you find this. It's a normal, healthy top portion, healthy undersigned. If somebody at the age of this is a brain of age of 17 years who has been using drugs for 4 years, marijuana, smoking, how that brain, this is normal. So you can see the lot of abnormality, opiates, cocaine, 10 years of alcohol, age 45, how the brain has become shrinked, and 3 years of methyl. So these are the things he has brought out. Probably people who are working as a teacher or a school administrator can display these things at a conspicuous places so that people will get, instead of just a statutory warning or some of the things may not really appear. This is something they will see how the brain looks if you are continuously using. That's one of the contribution of Daniel Amen. And coming to the four circle, first thing is he said biological circle, how your physical body and brain function. So the biological, his treatment starts with working with the biological part of it, that is the physical part, brain, other thing, and psychological circle, developmental issues, childhood developmental, other issues, and how people think. It's more related to mind. Social circle, social support, and your current life situations. And all of us as a psychologist know that the environment plays a vital role in treatment of most of the mental disorders. The social circle is one of the most important part of it. And it comes with the spiritual circle, your connection to God. Once again, the God need not be of a narrow, specific, particular to any particular religion. It can be just a universal almighty God or somebody, the planet, the past, the future generation, and your deepest sense of meaning and purpose. This is what brings it to him. Today we'll be most not focusing on biology, psychology, or social. We will be more focusing on the spiritual circle and how it works on the mental health. Just being a second part of it, I just give a two briefing about a 2-3 minutes on the what we had discussed last time. People just often confuse religion and spirituality, though the goal of religion is to take you to spirituality. Most of the goals are the same. Sometimes we get stuck in some of the religious part of it and we start narrowing down that scope of religion. So both are less. There are some differences. Spirituality is inward focus. You don't have to go to temple, church, mosque, or anything if you are a spiritual. You can be within. Whereas a religion has got some do's and don'ts. You have to follow certain things. Some rules are there. It's more related to your faith, that you have a particular faith in the particular religion, particular God, and it relies on the organization. Despite the religion, despite the best intentions, sometimes contains subtle undercurrent of fear. Sometimes they also start using fear to bring some sort of a integration in them, in people's, like for example, moral. People, if you are not moral, there is a scope for somebody to, some higher authorities punishing in the terms of religion. Spirituality has no strict rules. Even an atheist can be spiritual. Spirituality doesn't require a faith. I don't have to conform to any of the religious order or any faith. It's a solo act. I am, that's all. Spiritual dispels the fear of worries in favor of more loving, compassionate approach to life, death, and afterlife. So these are the basic things. The ultimate goal of religion is spirituality. Spirituality by itself can be independent. You don't have to be religious. And then now, lot of people we know intelligent quotients, and then multiple intelligence we had, and then emotional intelligence has come. Now, a lot of things are talked on the spiritual intelligence. This consists of humility, integrity, openness, precision, generosity, kindness, etc. These are the things that constitute the what you call ingredient for spiritual intelligence. So last time we did spirituality and the well-being. I will rush through this. Religion and health, there has been a correlations. One more thing I would like to make it a point here. These are all research-based. The research-based can also be contradicted by some other research. So you may find some contradiction. For example, when all of us had the COVID, we were advised to take vaccine. Just because somebody has taken a vaccine, I know a couple of people who have taken vaccine are passed away the COVID. Some of the people who are not taken vaccine, they have survived. So it's very fluid when as far the research is concerned. So depending on your comfort, your belief system, you can believe this research or you can discard the system because and most of the research in positive psychologies are very, very new. There are a lot more need to be done. So you will find a lot of contradictions in this. I just made a point so that to make it clear that yes, there can be some contradictions. Studies establish strong and consistent evidence. It's not strong and it's also consistent evidence of association between religiousness and better physical health. It is not spirituality, it is once again a religiousness, sectarian. People who report greater religiousness tend to have fewer illness, lower rates of cancer, heart attack, recover more quickly from illness and surgery, and have a greater tolerance for pain. This is by authors of the research people. Other factor contribution to improved health of religious people are healthier lifestyle, more positive emotions, better social support, greater forgiveness, greater use of meditation and prayer. I think the meditation and prayer, many of these are stronger in women than men. So thumbs up to all women who are present here. So you're all very strong in religion. Meditation part, we have done it exhaustively last time. If somebody is interested to know whether meditation has got any scientific backing, yes, people have said meditation does A, B, C, D, and all. Does it really scientifically proved? If that is a question, we can address this some other later part of the time where I can bring lot of scientific evidence to meditation in a laboratory tested using fMRIs and other instrument. So meditation, we are not touching it here. Nature, last time we had touched how getting associated with nature, having a walk to a park, on a seashore, river, mountain, how it works, helps you. So now we look into what is the gratitude and appreciation. Most of these things are being taught to us in the form of ethics, in the form of religion. Religions also talk of gratitude, appreciations, and everything. So what is gratitude? Emmons in 2005 has described gratitude, something when you want to look at the gratitude, an emotional response to a gift. Once I just give an example. When I was very young, I was driving one moped type of thing, and somewhere in the turning, I lost my balance and fell down. It was a very heavy traffic. The buses, and that time we used to have double-decker buses in Hyderabad. So we used to come, and suddenly two young boys just lifted me from nowhere. It's just a sort of a gratitude. They have done something without any expectation, emotional response to it. That gift, I got it. Probably if there is even, I can't blame the traffic because the traffic is slow. I could have been run over on my leg or I would have fractured my leg. Anything could happen. But these two boys are saved. It is the appreciation felt. I'm remembering this after 35 years. So it means gratitude has got a value. Felt after one has been a beneficiary of an altruistic act. This was an altruistic act. These boys have done it. Research finding points out, or somebody listening noise, once again, there's a background noise. Research finding points out that grateful people tend to be happy in you. You have gratitude, you have a contentment. When you have a contentment, peace of mind flows to you. Seligman, once again, one of that strong advocate of positive psychology, recommended a gratitude visit. This is something he was advocating in his most of the positive psychology. Probably all of us will have some sort of an occasion. Either it could be your manager, it could be husband and wife, children, or anything. It's just a token of your appreciation, a gratitude letter. Taking a gratitude letter, if there are children, school day, teachers' day, they can just give at the time of parting one gratitude letter. So what that research says is in which an individual is given 1 week to write and then deliver it in person, a letter of gratitude to someone who had been especially kindly. Let us say, maybe after 30, 40 years, I remember some of my teachers, school teachers, who were role models to me. Unfortunately, none of them are living now. So at some point of time, if I had gone and met them as a part of gratitude, these are the things they call it as a gratitude visit. 1 week, right, and then deliver in a person of gratitude is something. And one more research found that students who express gratitude once a week, but not 3 times a week, showed increased well-being after the intervention. Why not 1 week and a 3 week? What difference it becomes? Like, for example, the moment sometimes you start doing so frequently, it becomes more like mechanical. We lose the spirit. We are more focused on just writing a letter, gratitude letter. We don't input our emotions in that. That's what probably that research says. Just one letter once in a week. Maybe for 6, 7 weeks you can do it. Or your father's birthday, your children's birthday, no harm. Even a children, you can say, you have been source of joy or something. It boosts them. Then the next one, appreciation is a response to the world that is similar to gratitude. It's slightly a lesser thing in appreciate. You just appreciate you allows us to notice people and life experiences and to acknowledge the value of importance. Normally, when we say, yes, somebody gives a glass of water when you are thirsty or something, you just say, thank you. You appreciate their gesture. You appreciate their part of their gift. Adler and Fagley believed greater appreciation one of the more effective way to increase positive relationship and creating a sense of meaning. So, and now as a counselors, all of us know how much relationships are suffering in younger generation. In our counseling, every second case or third case we handle is on a relationship issues. It's relation. So it is a time that we start slowly acknowledging appreciations of small things. All that the relationship craves for is a bit of appreciation, just bit of these things. The relationship can keep wonder, and then it can be very smooth. And then we go to the forgiveness. This is something which is very tough. It takes a lot of time. It is forgiveness is one thing is talked highly in the spiritual psychology. What is forgiveness? A willingness to abandon one's right to resentment. Somebody has cheated me, or somebody has abused me, somebody has exploited me, somebody has taken advantage of my goodness or meekness. I tend to have a sense of resentment, a hurt, which I'd be carrying it. A negative judgment and indifferent behavior towards the one and unjustified injury. Next time when I look at that person, maybe these are the cloud my judgment on the personality, and then it comes. So I can also have an indifferent behavior towards one who unjustly injured us. He might have injured me. He might have hurt me. A manager has unnecessarily punished me, and all those things, while fostering the undeserved qualities of compassion, generosity, and even love to him or her. So this is one thing is, yes, the negative side of the forgiveness is because of a hurt, a resentment, lot of things are negative things. It's piled up in my heart, which can, what as per Sigmund Freud says, sometimes it explodes somewhere unnoticed. So I start working on it using compassion, generosity, and even love towards him and or her. Probably we can look into the two great historical figures of Adolf Hitler, when he was insulted after the fall of Berlin after the First World War, the same insult has taken him to the Second World War. Germany was one of the things. The same type of insult which was done to Mahatma Gandhi, probably he had a better way of handling things. Then the non-violence movement started, became a word for everybody, non-violent, be ahimsa, ahimsa. So probably there is something which these two personalities carry. So what are the definitions as far as this particular thing? Emotional, that is overcoming resentment. There is an emotional charge because of the resentment. Hey, he has done harm to me. I need to teach him a lesson. How dare he does it? This sort of a talking, my mind talk will be there. Cognitive, that is changing negative judgment. So next time I took, he's a villain, he's known to cheat, and I prejudiced him. He always cheats everybody. All those what you call the strings of negative adjectives, negative judgment I use against him. Behavioral, that is ending indifferences. So forgiveness entails recognizing and acknowledging that a transgression or infringement on my personal private life occurred against us, finding ways to move beyond. So all of us know that hurt has happened and it need to be worked using this forgiveness. Just 1 second. So forgiveness, what is advantages, helps us to handle certain emotion positively, like anger, resentment, hurt that can otherwise consume our lives and create ever increasing cycles of hostility and desire for revenge. This was exactly what you called as a trigger for the Second World War. All that it was, I think I may be wrong in the history, Hitler was not offered a chair after the fall of Berlin. So that started with that. So that we start looking at it, work on that forgiveness so that we are less prone to hostility, resentment, and other things. Moment we are less to all these things, there are physical and psychological disorders can be avoided. Women are more likely to forgive than men due to greater empathy and less concern for vengeance. Once again, double thumbs up for women. They are really lovely. They carry more softness in the heart. They have a tendency to forgive and they have greater empathy and less concern for vengeance. So, thumbs up for all the girls who are present, ladies and girls. So, how do you use this? Then when we talk of forgiveness, I should have some sort of a process to work. One is, first thing is, I get angry, I am uncovering the anger. Then, yes, I experience that anger. The anger can be experienced without judging, what we call it as a mindful awareness of my anger. I don't react, I just keep experiencing. Deciding to forgive. Yes, I know it is not good for me. So I start, yes, it's a time that I not learn to forgive. Then there is a work first, there are something I start working on that, and then I deepen that particular working phase so that I forgive and then I free me as well as the person who has transgressed my or hurt me or offended me. So, what is each one of us? Uncovering anger phase. This is the first in the forgiveness process is to acknowledge and understand the anger. This might require, I think this the whole slide will tell you it takes a lot of time. So to aware that we are angry itself is a sign of wisdom. So probably we need to work on that. And then once we know, yes, I'm angry, it's causing me resentment. And then this, in fact, the next step is I acknowledge, I accept, yes, I have been insulted. It's causing me resentment. It's causing me anger. That particular feeling I'm experiencing it. Probably it's not tangible like your physical pain or anything. Sometimes you can still experience that. This involves exploring the importance of the offense on your thoughts, emotions, and behavior. So, what is my mind talk? Hey, this person has insulted me. Tomorrow I will settle the score. Whenever I get it, after 20 years, I see I settle the score. I will wait for an opportunity. These sort of things, my mind talk. This starts an emotion, and this also states behavior. However, as the anger and other negative emotion brought out into the open, he can start healing. So I know if I am slightly going to be mature, I know there is an anger, I know this emotions is going to be like this, my behavior is will change, and then this can happen too. I start looking at it more like a friend. Then the decision to forgive first. Yes, I know some of my close friends. Normally, it's easy for us to forgive an enemy. Yeah, we are not mentally. Sometimes this backstabbing comes from some of our closest friend whom we would never have expected. There it hurts you very badly. But at the same time, they are close. You can't leave their friendship or relationship, but you need to work. The next step is to make a conscious decision. Yes, he has done it. Yes, I acknowledge that he has done it. I accept that he has done it. But I have a better way of handling my own emotions. Forgive the person who was wrong to me. This decision is not made lightly, but it is based on a desire to let go of negative emotion and move towards healing. It is not something like it's not a most of the things are not theoretical. It is something which we need to absorb in ourselves, start working. That's why spirituality is something much tougher. You have to work on yourself. Spirituality, you are the architect of your own destiny. Your success, you are responsible. Failure, you are responsible. It's not God is going to come and save you. In religion, you can always say, I made a wrong, God may save me. But in this particular thing, it's not there. Then work on forgiveness phase. This is what it starts. Yes, the first two are easy. Yeah, I can to some extent I can work and then you can do that. Forgiveness is a process that takes time and effort. It is something a long every time. Maybe you think you are forgiven after two, maybe that person you meet him after 2 3 years, you remember all like a, yeah, the mind is a beautiful instrument. All this thing in a package it comes to gives to you, delivers into your mind. Hey, that person has harmed me. Once again, that emotional charge will start increasing. So it takes lot of time. It involves working through your feelings of anger and resentment and replacing that with compassion. Yeah, the compassion part will come and understanding towards the offender. This may involve seeking support from others, practicing empathy, and engaging in. It is also in some of the religious part of it. They call it as the meeting of like-minded people. In Sanskrit, we call satsang. So you meet all those things. These are all the things we help in struggling. When you're struggling, it is better to have some company who will be able to motivate you and keep working with you. Then deepening phase, the final step is the forgiveness process is to discover the meaning and purpose behind the offense. This is one step. Probably always we have a fact is the truth is always a truth. For example, somebody brought me a cup of coffee, or somebody has placed a telephone mobile on my table. The truth is he has placed on that. The interpretation of the truth can be varied and which we don't know. Why he has kept it? Probably it's hurting his packet. He might have took it back, or maybe some other reason. So when we start, somebody has offended me, somebody has cheated me, somebody has this thing is, you go one step. What made him to do that? All that you know, cheating is a truth. He has cheated you, but the interpretation of that can change. That doesn't mean you become a doormat, allow yourself to be cheated next time. No, you have to exercise all the cautions and everything, but for your own working, discover the meaning and purpose behind the offense and release the negative emotion. Yeah, once you understand, probably I'll tell you, somebody of your friend, yes, shouted at you, and then you felt he's a very close friend, he shouted at you. Probably you were not at fault, or your manager has shouted at you, you are not at the fault. Maybe you tried, the manager might have had a bad day in his that, or he might have had some this thing is. All that the fact is shouting has been done. What prompted him to shout is something is question of debatable. Facts can differ. Truth is same. Interpretation of the truth can differ. So the emotional relief and newfound meaning may lead to increased compassion for self and others. So this is something we need to work. This allows you to move forward with a sense of peace and closure. Once after some time, you become incompetent to harm people, incompetent to take resentments and all. Okay. The other part of it, I said two part of the forgiveness is one is it's very easy if the enemy you are expected that he doesn't treat you kindly, but somebody very close friend of you as this thing is cheated, you probably what will be the what you call it as a from the point of view of the person who was offended, that is the self. Let me know. I have shouted at my staff without any meaning. I just shouted and blasted at my thing. Then self-forgiveness is much, much tougher. It is something which is very difficult. That guilt will keep on haunting you. Self-forgiveness is a process of letting go of the resentment towards oneself for a transgression that I have shouted at my employee for no fault of it or a minor mistake, which is my shouting was disproportionate. Taking responsibility of our behavior and letting go of self-observed self-criticisms and rumination can help us to move. So this keeps on happening. So what we normally recommend for this sort of thing is, I have offended that person. The best thing is I can always call next time and say, hey, I extremely apologize for you to making these things. Make amends. Yes, I'm extremely sorry to happen. And then we can also start working on it. And then the other part of it, once again, from forgiveness, we go back to the compassion. Unless you develop this compassion, forgiveness may become slightly complicated. Compassion is an ability to, I think somebody please remind me if I am crossing my time. It's 7:20. Sunanda madam, how long I can go up to? 7:30? Okay, shall I go up to 7:40 or something? Fine. Yeah, fine. 7:30 I will close it. Okay. Then I had to skip so many things. Okay, fine. Compassion is an ability to empathize with others. And yeah, 7:30 I will end it. Not a problem. Yeah. Compassion is an ability to empathize with others and identify with their experience. I walk in their shoes. I know how it means if to be hurt on something. Compassion, empathy, and altruism more or less go in the same different term with slight minor difference. People with high degree of empathy have also reported more satisfaction with life and more positive relationship. This is once again relationship is something which is getting affected badly in today's world. I don't know. I think all of you might have read. I think one lady in North India wants to file a divorce because her husband failed to buy a kurkuri. So that's the type of relationship we have it now. Today, it is so brittle. The relationship is just brittle. Anytime it breaks. So in case of handling shame, we focus on what is wrong with us, which is particularly hurtful. These are some of the benefits. Self-compassion allows us to forgo guilt for at least 2 weeks after expressing it towards ourselves. When we start expressing to ourselves, the research says that it helps you to work. Self-compassion is very useful when it comes to reducing rumination. Rumination is something which is it's something like your mind is very occupied. It's something like a rotating chair. No, you feel thrilled by a rotating chair, but it takes nowhere. Negative thoughts and playback in our head, anxiety, depression, self-criticism, and is especially effective at regulating eating behaviors, especially binge eating. Self-compassion is also very useful for patients with HIV. After diagnosis, patients experience less anxiety, stress, shame. After diagnosis, they have practiced high level of self-compassion. Then something to be careful. People who are actively grieving, we can't ask this person, somebody's grieving, if somebody has lost their beloved, loved one, just you can't go and talk to him. This can be counterproductive. Survivor of abuse of any kind. It's very difficult. You have to handle with care. People with extreme negative self-image should not practice loving kindness meditation without the support of meditation. What is this loving kindness meditation? You can always Google and find out how to develop compassion, colon, the 5 stages of loving kindness meditation. This you can practice just before you go to bed or just in the evening time. It has got a very, very high scientific research on using the neurologist and using that fMRI, they have tested this. And in the meditation, it has got a most powerful research on that. So it is worth practicing as much as you can every day. And studies examining loving kindness meditation have found that it can increase positive emotions. So it's worth starting. It takes 5 minutes, not more than that. 5 minutes every day, we can spend some time. Build personal resources, increase social connectedness, improve negative symptoms of schizophrenia. So negative symptoms, all of you know, if those who are not from psychology background, the negative symptoms are something which is present in the person, which is not functional, which is not added externally. Something like sleep, I may oversleep or undersleep. Hunger, I may be overeating or not eating. So these are the things, negative symptoms. It has got improvement on negative symptoms. Then humility, the one more quality, being humble involves a relative lack of self-focus and self-preoccupation. What is humility? I know everything in this world, an egoistic, a total what you call it as a putting the ego in its place. You are humble, lot of things you need to learn. An ability to acknowledge mistake, openness to others' opinions, idea, and an appreciation to the many different ways people contribute to the world. One study found that greater humility is related to higher self-esteem, gratitude. So all these things are more or less going. Forgiveness, spirituality, and better health. Humility is important to life, joy, satisfaction, wisdom, and contentment. I'm not going to take this play because it's a slightly long, it's almost 7:25. I just quote with the relevant to play one attitude issues, then I will close this. I'm sorry once again, don't have much of a time. I think some of you of my generation will know this person. Anybody know him? I know he's not of today's generation, not like Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal or somebody. Something about him. Who is he? Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe, 10th July 1943 to 6th February 1993. So he passed away in 1993, 6th February. He was a winner of US Open 1968, Australian Open 1970, Wimbledon 1975. He was one of the like a star in the tennis field. Even today, the US Open tennis, this thing is Arthur Ashe Stadium is one of the biggest stadium in US. I think somewhere in September it starts. What was the cause of his death? That is something which he contracted HIV virus that causes AIDS through a transfusion of tainted blood during his heart bypass surgery in 1983. Please understand, don't equate today's technology to 83. 83, even that once used syringes were not there. So unfortunately, he became a victim of some medical, we can't say it's a medical negligence or anything. Doctors might have at that point of time, with available research, they did the best, but he got into things. A reporter asked Arthur Ashe, did he not ask the God, why me? Arthur Ashe has not done anything. There is something, lot of resentment is possible in him. Anger can be possible. Anything. What did I do to get my AIDS? I not led any vulgar life or anything. I was honest. He's one of the best gentlemen in field of tennis. What was his answer is something, is like a prayer for me at least, if not for others. What did he answer? The world over 50 million children start playing tennis. Yeah, that's a fact. Now you can say cricket. You can just put cricket. 5 million learn to play tennis. Yeah, everybody has said 5 million. Turn 5 lakh people learn professional tennis. 50,000 come to the circuit, tournaments, Davis Cup and all. 5,000 reach the Grand Slam. Grand Slam, US, Australian, French, Wimbledon and US, they're all Grand Slam. Now Wimbledon, sorry, now French tennis may be going on. 50 reach Wimbledon, not 50, 256 and like that, some steps. 50 reach Wimbledon, 4 to the semi-final, only 4 out of 50 million. 2 to the final. When I was holding the cup, I never asked why me. And today in pain, I should not be asking God why me. Something as transformation, attitude change. Why blame somebody? Accept, learn, forgive everything in the world. And he passed away, unfortunately. Okay. Optimism is sorry, I cannot go. It's almost 7:30. Okay. Kindness, I'm not able to go. Okay. And thanks to all participants. Hope to see you next time with a new topic. Yours loving Subramanian. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody raise his hand.
Yes, sir. Me, sir. Your presentation for me looked like a reflection of your ingrained spirituality belief system. A wonderful presentation, and thanks for that. I would
Thank
like
you.
to make only. I'm not an expert in the field of psychology.
Yeah.
But I have been trying to practice spirituality for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Though, of course, I'm yet to succeed in the particular field.
Okay.
From my practice and from your presentation,
yeah,
I only like to make one statement.
Yeah.
That all these problems do arise because we connect ourselves to the rest of the world through our role, but not through our soul. Always we think that I am this, I am that, I'm a manager, I'm a husband, I'm a wife. Like this, the moment you start connecting yourself to the role, problems do arise.
I am 100% agree. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Correct.
Yeah. Number two,
yeah.
The way we clutter the mind. Like say, for example, all over the world, every airline has a baggage policy.
Yeah.
Maybe with India, you do not allow more than 15 kilos. So when you go on a travel, what you try to do is that you prioritize the things that you need to take and discard those things that you need not have to.
Yeah.
And similarly, if we try to declutter the mind, that what is to be kept inside and what need not be kept inside, perhaps the peace will definitely pervade and we'll all be at peace.
Definitely.
So from my own experience, I always feel the more I declutter the mind, the more I try to ignore the issues, because one of the greatest gifts that God has given us is the ability to forget and forgive, and which we rarely practice. The moment I start doing it, perhaps peace dawns on me. And thanks very much once again for the excellent presentation. And it has given me additional hope that I need to and continue to practice my spirituality, not for the sake of the world, but for my own sake. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I 100% validate your both the statements. It's this thing is, so it is true, but it takes some time depending on you have been practicing. Somebody was not practiced and start doing it. And what you say is I 100% with you on the statement. I no disagreement on that, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Santosh Shukla.
I think Santosh Shukla, you have
He will not
you are-
respond, Santosh.
I know he's my speaker. This mic is.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sam, he has left a call.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shamal, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Thanks. I wanted to say thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, friends, you can share your knowledge, what you gained today, what are the takeaways.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jyoti ma'am, Kalyani Garimala, Sudha.
We have some time. If want 5 minutes, we can. If you want anybody to discuss, we can discuss.
Jyoti ma'am.
Subramanian, you have given us such a lucid presentation. I think most of the people are not in much doubt.
Good evening, sir.
Continue.
Kalyani this side.
Looks like
Good
that.
evening, madam.
Then sir, chala bound. It was very, very good. I mean, you have covered a lot of aspects on spirituality, and I totally believe in what all you have presented. Because I think more than religion, I am more of a spiritual person, than a religious person.
Yeah.
So you have clearly, differentiated between the two and how to go about the spirituality way. Is given, you've given a lot of clarity on that. I think we should all try to. I know it is a little, as you said, forgiveness and all are difficult, but I think, at our age, we should try all these things, I guess. So, yeah, very nice.
No, luckily, what is happening today is most of the people started looking. It may be a question of quantum field in physics or psychology, biology, and everything. Everybody's turning towards this. And most of the things now, whatever the spirituality they talk or meditation or anything, now they have been able to demonstrate, have a research conducted on the laboratory. I think one of the most best book I read on scientific research is on the science of meditation. Probably that's a book we can explore somewhere. So much of experiment has been done on that, on the meditation process. So there are a lot of scientific evidences are pointing towards this, to work on that.
But the first thing is, like, you need to clearly understand what is spirituality. That
That is,
so that you have really given us a good picture of what is spirituality. So I'm very happy with the session. I'm glad I attended it. So thank you so much, sir.
In fact, I've been trained by Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Swami Ranganath Nanda. All these people are now Parthardi. So these are, almost 20 years I've been listening to Swami Ranganath Nanda's lecture. Unfortunately, he's no more. So he was the president of Belur Math. He was in Hyderabad for about 20 years. I was listening to his lectures.
Wow.
So, I mean, mostly these things have come to be by listening to these great people.
You're lucky and blessed to get these opportunities. Thank you so much.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Kalyani ma'am. Yeah. Sudha.
Thank you so much, sir. నిజంగానే ఎంత
Thank you.
overwhelming gratitude. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha.
Thank you.
Yeah, others.
We will be interacting more often. I think maybe in a couple of months, I also will be slightly more free to have more sharing and all now. I am working and doing certain these things. So maybe in a couple of months, I will also slightly become free so that I'll be more. We'll be sharing more knowledge, exchanging. I won't be sharing. We'll be exchanging it.
Yeah, we can do an interactive session, sir, and we can go a little deeper into this, I guess.
Yes.
We would love that. Thank you.
Okay.
You can guide us. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, to my knowledge, spirituality is not a religion, sir.
Yes.
I can say who am I and what is my qualities, what are my strengths, that we have to dig out, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct, sir?
Yes. Yes. One thing in the positive psychology, what there was a foreigner who visited Ramana Maharishi. So that foreigner was asking whether the soul is a singular item or a double. Like for example, I am Subramanian. I'm a Subramanian soul is a single one or it's multiple things. Then Ramana Maharishi said, you don't understand this. It can be either singular or plural or multiple. Exactly the positive psychology today proved that a soul may not be singular. It can be multiple directions. It's a trans psychology, not space. Positive trans psychology. The research has proved that that means a Subramanian cannot be in this one body, maybe in some other bodies also the same person. So that is something which is very difficult, and then that trans psychology has proved this. So there are so many wonderful, amazing things are coming out in psychology.
Yes, sir. We can say it's a wellness factor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no that doubts. I think we can conclude today's session with the permission. Even though
Yeah,
we
please,
started
please.
late, we
No,
enjoyed
doesn't
thoroughly.
matter. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter, madam. What is that? We can, instead of doing some injustice to some few topics, I've taken 2-3 topics. Maybe some other time we can take some other topic. We can go in detail.
Yeah.
Not a
Sure,
problem.
sir. Next
Thank
month,
you.
we can share. Yeah, Dinakara, sir, please go ahead with VOT.
Mrs. Subramaniam,
Thank
I hope
you.
it's a
Yeah.
wonderful session.
Thank you, sir.
Unimaginably wonderful session. My daughter and son-in-law are there. I said, today I want to listen to that spiritual. I'm
Yeah.
very happy, very elaborately explained. And there is no more questions for me to ask, but still I have to deal with one
Yeah.
small resentment I'm having towards only one person. But
Yeah.
still I'm working on that. It may take some more time. But I know that this is an issue. Therefore, highly thankful to you for giving a wonderful clarification. On behalf of Manasa Subhakara Mind Center, Forest Creative Arts, Yellow Pond Counseling Center, and all other my associates, I'm highly thankful to you for a wonderful session. And I hope after 2 months, when you're going to be free, you're going to take at least once in a month or
Yeah,
once in 2
definitely.
months a session for
Yeah.
us. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, sir,
Sunanda,
definitely.
Sunanda, I hope you make a note of it. After 2 months,
Sure,
you're going to be
sir.
slightly free. We will take care of it. Thank you once again, all the participants. And
Thank you.
one small thing I would add, Mr. Subbarao talked to you a bit about his personal experience. I know him for the last 30 years. I see a lot of change in him. Once you start working with oneself, there will be a lot of change and improvement. Hats off, Subbarao. So, thank you, Mr. Subramaniam. Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, everyone.